Welcome back, everybody. IGN Live from Comic-Con, brought to you by Lucy and the Evil Within. Now we're talking about the new show, iZOMBIE. Yeah. Here to tell us all about it, our Rose, Rob, and Diane. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tell us about iZOMBIE. This is based on a comic series.
That's true. Yeah, by a comic series of the same name. And it features Rose McIver as our title zombie, a zombie that you would fall in love with. So sort of warm bodies in that respect. You know, more sort of fun comedy romance than your Walking Deads of the world. Less shotgun blasts.
Right.
A little more jokey.
Yeah, Rose, obviously this character is a self-aware zombie. You're not being asked to shamble around for every episode. Yeah, how is she processing what happened to her?
Well, I sort of like that I'm treating her as an ethical zombie, sort of a cross between Buffy and Angel. She's the heroine, but she is also afflicted with zombieism. So she's trying to do it the right way. She eats the brains of those who've already died. Okay. Socially responsible.
She's a gravedigger, right?
She is in the comic series. She's a gravedigger. In our show, she works at a morgue. Yeah.
And yeah, there's an interesting thing that happens here, though. She eats the brains at the morgue, but then there's more to it than that, right? It sort of activates something within her.
Well, she goes from being a medical student to taking this job at the police morgue so that she has easy access to brains, but they're all brains of murder victims. And when she eats these brains, she gets their memories. So she will get little glimpses of memories, and she uses those to help the police solve these murder cases.
I'm a big fan of Buffy and shows like that, but you know, it's always kind of an interesting trick to match the horror and comedy tone. Right. You know, Diane, how has that been for you to sort of figure out like what's the right sort of sweet spot of mixing that together?
That might be my favorite sweet spot.
Yeah.
Like Shaun of the Dead being like both of our movies we both love. I think it's pretty easy. That's just tonally where we go. So we're excited by having that kind of action sequence and then having that little comedic twist on it is something is our wheelhouse, I think.
When we did Veronica Mars, we were doing noir, and noir isn't a genre known for a lot of comedy, but we tried to take that genre and infuse it, and I think we're doing sort of the same thing here with kind of a horror monster genre.
Rose, for you, what's it like playing this role? Because you know this is not your standard role, and making sure you're playing the reality of her situation, but being aware that it is a bigger than life situation.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I'm trying to play the grounded element. I mean, we have an amazing team that I work with that create this look, and we've got zero pigment, and she's when she gets zombieified, she hasn't eaten enough brains and her eyes turn red, and there are various cues that she's gone down that path. But most of the time, I think we're trying to make her an accessible mid-20s woman who's having an identity crisis. So that's what I sort of focused on.
You have almost like a pretty extreme gothish look here. How do you like rocking that look?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I am kind of I guess in some ways it's influencing my own wardrobe a little bit. I've been wearing a lot of hoodies, long sleeve things in the show because we're trying to cover my body because that's all white spray. But yeah, I actually really like it. I think it's like kind of chill, kind of cool. She's got a good look.
Are we going to see a lot of brain eating on the show?
Yes. Yes. We still haven't perfected the recipe. I think we need to employ Jamie Oliver or Nigella or somebody to come and sort it out because we just have these fondant and like soy protein brains. They're not recommended.
Well, the footage I've seen, she is she's clever with the brains. She doesn't just eat them. She makes a meal out of it.
That's right. That's right. One of the ideas we're playing is that she has lost a large degree of her sense of taste. So she has to douse it in all kinds of hot sauce to even feel any sense of flavor in it at all.
So what is sort of the average episode of iZOMBIE? Like what is sort of she doing each week?
Well, every week there will be sort of an A-story murder case of the week, and that will occupy a certain percentage of the show. But it's not just a zombie morgue worker solves crime. There will be a whole zombie element to it. So yeah, we'll have big zombie through lines. One of the quests for Liv in the show is to stave off a zombie apocalypse, and so there will be zombies floating around.
No pressure.
No pressure. Yeah.
And keeping all that in check is one of the things she'll be trying to do.
Dan, are you treating this almost like a secret identity, you know, as far as...
Definitely. It's not something she could talk about with anyone other than her boss and the medical examiner, Ravi Chakrabarty, because he's the only person that knows about her. And so it's a big secret that she's keeping from her loved ones and her friends and basically everyone.
Right.
We actually have a question from one of our viewers. Here we can pull up on the monitor from Facebook. Samantha asks, what do the fig brains taste like?
Beat you to the post there, Samantha. They're not ideal, I'll be honest. They're very salty and sweet. We haven't quite decided which direction we're going, so we do both, which is sort of more, less is more is always a good route to go down. So we're working on it, but not delicious.
We've seen in the footage I've seen, there are zombies that are total like traditional zombies that are mindless. Can you talk about what makes her different? You know, how is it?
Well, we kind of have 3 stages of zombie in the show. We in the writers' room we call the ones who just get turned freshies, and they're the ones sort of like in World War Z. They're fast moving. They're enraged, and they're trying to eat everything they can see. And then there's Liv in this, and she exists in a fairly normal world as long as she keeps eating brains. Those who stop eating become Romeros. They become kind of the shambling, flesh falling off them, traditional zombies.
We're just about out of time, but Eric, I think you had one more question you wanted to ask.
Yeah. I wanted to ask. We were just talking before. You were here a year ago with Veronica Mars' movie. Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
As a big Veronica Mars fan, I will ask the inevitable: what next? You know, what might happen next for Veronica?
I'm editing the second Veronica Mars novel right now, so working on that. That'll come out in October. I have a Google alert that tells me that Kristen Bell says there's going to be another movie. I'm on board. I don't want that train to leave without me.
She's doing it without you.
Yeah,
okay.
so I'm hopeful that I'm involved in that project. We love coming back to it. Hope we get to.
Gotcha. Same here.
All right.
I don't know about you guys, but all this talk of brain eating is making me hungry.
Yes. When might we see iZombie, by the way?
Sometime this television season.
Okay.
We're a mid-season, so you never quite have an exact date.
Gotcha.
Well, sounds cool. I'll definitely be tuning in.
All right,
great.
Thanks,
Thanks so much for coming by the show.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. We've got more live from Comic-Con right after these messages.